either.
Right.
And that was because of, I guess, the way I grew up. But I mean, I watched Archie Bunker, and if anybody would have been, I mean, she corrected me and saying, you don't say colored.
Right.
You know, up in New Hampshire, it was okay to say colored, but when you moved to the city, when I moved to Boston,
the language
Shelley,
is so
you can't say colored.
Yeah, language is so powerful.
And that was only like maybe 30 years ago. And since then, like just all this stuff that is coming up now, but I never saw that, like that differentiation. And I'm like, why do people?
But it happens everywhere, and a lot of times it's about color, not even race or culture. A lot, like even within cultures, you see. As far as the
experience that they had, like if they lived next door to people, say they lived in Dorchester, and you know you have white people and you have black people living in the same community, and somebody does something that's horrible, and then you just associate it with black people. Or if it was like an Italian, like you know they used to have the mob,
right?
You know, like,
I grew up with the mob around here.
Yeah, like you have the mob or whatever, so you knew okay, that person's Italian, and you're like. Oh shit!
Yeah, we had the Winter Hill.
Because that I could like think of, you know, that or the Irish gang. You know, you had Southie and all the Irish. You're like, you don't go to Southie because you're gonna get your face pummeled.
Yeah,
I mean, like that's the way it was. But now it's like like the color thing, and I'm like, how did it happen like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's devolving. It's not evil. It's devolving.
Yeah,
it's not getting. It's getting worse somehow.
Yeah, and it's
the more
bizarre.
progress we have.
But I'm going to say I'm an eternal optimist, so I'm going to say that this is just a period of difficult growth that our nation is going through, because I think that the fact that people are uncomfortable is good.
It needs to be addressed.
Yeah. Because you know there are a lot of people that wouldn't define themselves as racist, but that still have a level of discomfort with things. For example, it's like, they're totally okay with black people unless they're dating their daughter. Or, you know, like, oh, my black neighbor is so nice. As long as his son isn't dating my daughter, we're cool.
Yeah.
So I think there's like levels to it. It's like a big gray area. There's not one solution. You know, there's definite levels to it. You know what I mean? Gay people are great as long as it's not my kid that's gay. And
right.
So I think, you know, kind of, it's good that everyone's uncomfortable right now because it's allowing people to kind of just live with that discomfort and see what it brings up for them.
But your approach is very important as well, where we need to allow them to be ignorant. We need them to be able to vocally say something, not demonize them, not chastise them, but let them say it and then offer some insight. You can't change someone right then and there.
There are people
if you point your finger at them, they're going to be that way for the rest of their life.
Yeah, I think a lot of it stems from some religious beliefs or philosophical beliefs or
but
something.
I just feel like
that to me is like.
I feel like people will use what they want to as an excuse. Yeah. Okay, so like I think people at heart know what's right or wrong, and I think they'll use some people might use religion as an excuse or political affiliations as an excuse, but ultimately I think it comes down to they're afraid of something. They're afraid of confronting something in themselves. Maybe like you said, their belief system's challenged.
Yeah.
If their belief system's challenged, then who are they really? And will they have to change their behavior?
And that's a scary thought to not know who you are, you know?
It's scary, and it's scary to feel like, if I change...
Right.
It causes and creates external change.
Which is uncomfortable.
When you change inside, externally, that change is going to come through. One way or another. Whether you lose, you know, you might end a relationship, friends. You know, maybe your husband leaves you because of it, or you know, or whatever. You lose a job or something significant.
If you have a system and one part of that system changes, the whole system has to change somehow.
Right.
So I think it's, you know, I think this is an uncomfortable period for people in the United States, but you know, crazy people are going to use anything as an excuse to further their agenda. But then there's people that they really have their belief and they're entitled to them. And, you know, you have to kind of respect that. I've had difficult conversations with people where they explain their point of view to me and I disagree, and that's okay.
Yeah. That's good. That's democratic. That's like it's a good process.
But I think the best thing to do is like if you live your life according to your belief system, and that's why I train at the gym. That's why I do that's why I make the choices that I make for good or for bad.
And isn't the gym great when no one cares about this stupid stuff?
That's the great thing about the training. They don't at all.
They don't care about this stuff.
No, and
it's
all merit.
The same kind of people.
It's all merit based.
It is merit based.
We don't care. How good are you?
You're either slipping the punch or you're not.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, everyone just cares about making everybody better, which makes them better people.
Right. Hands
You
down.
pointed out earlier too, it's a great way of communication.
It is. It's
Like,
the
you
most
get-
pure form of communication.
You get
So what's
language.
the pure form of communication that you're talking
striking,
about?
like if you're sparring or you're striking and stuff, like if somebody's being a real asshole and you're sparring with them,
You don't tell them they're being a dick. You show them they're being a dick.
and you just,
They can deny your words, but they can't deny the physicality going
yeah.
against them.
It's
Onto the face,
it so
hard,
predates language. It's so primal, and it's a way to communicate that is universal. People come down the gym, don't speak a lick of my language, and I don't speak a word of their language,
Yeah.
and we still have a blast.
Right.
You know, I trained with Erica how do you pronounce her last name?
I haven't met her.
BCO, she's the title belt holder for Invicta in our weight
Okay.
class. This girl is unbelievable, right?
Okay,
And
I've met her yet.
her English isn't so great. My
Yeah.
Portuguese is like nothing.
Even worse.
Horrible. I would die of starvation in Brazil if I had to go there and survive based on my
No, they just
skills.
feed you.
I know. They just offer me
Russian
food.
very nice.
They offer you food. Yeah, eat that.
We really couldn't communicate verbally very well, but we understood each other perfectly. You know, sparring and everything, and it was just so much fun, and so just, you know, it's the ultimate form of communication, and it just is a way to, it's so primal. It predates language.
Definitely does. Definitely does.
I love it. It just, and it helps you figure out, helps you kind of learn about yourself too. Like, I'm a counter striker.
I am too.
And that says a lot, right?
Yeah.
About who you are, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't
definitely
it?
does.
Doesn't it say
Yeah.
something about who you are and your,
Yeah.
I mean, usually like my fight life mirrors my regular life, and I'm a counter striker in regular life too.
Yeah, I like to take
Right?
in the information. Okay,
Yeah.
what are my choices?
I probably wouldn't have called you up and said, "Hey, Shelley, you should have me on your podcast."
Yeah.
But you called me or talked to me about it, and I said,
Yeah.
"That's a great idea."
Oh yeah, I'm super reactive.
I'm a reactive person.
Super
See?
reactive.
See? So that says something about you, so you're probably a counter striker. Welcome to the club. You'll love it here.
Like I have a choice. So
You're in good company. Anderson Silva's a counter striker. So it's like it helps you learn about yourself and who you are and how you like to communicate and interact with people. And it helps you learn how to deal with difficult people that are unsure, lack confidence. It helps you be in the role of student and teacher, which is important in life, you know, because sometimes I'm the student and sometimes I'm the teacher.
I feel like I'm both on all
Sometimes I'm the
levels.
parent,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm the mom at the gym, and sometimes I'm the little kid looking for a shoulder to cry on.
And sometimes your kid's like, "Mom, remember what you told me?"
Yeah, right?
So it allows you to take on all of those roles and learn about yourself and figure out, how do I react in these situations, you know, under pressure. It helps you figure out how you're going to react under pressure. Where are the things that you want to improve as a person? Where are your weaknesses? It just comes to light so clearly. Like, I remember I used to blink or
Flinch?
close my eyes, flinch when people hit me, and John Johnson said to Luda one day, if she blinks or looks away, hit her harder. Oh. And he was like, "Oh God," and then he was like, "Okay."
Yeah, right?
Well, I gotta tell you, I
See, my lesson with that one was go in the shower and try to hold your eyes open. You know, like while the water's standing, so you can keep your eyes open if somebody punches you.
Oh my God, that's
That's such a different way of like learning it.
I gotta tell you, within 2 or 3 team practices, I was getting hit like 75% less because I was keeping my eyes open and watching what was coming. And it's just like life, right?
Yeah.
If you keep your blinders on and you shut your eyes to everything that you don't want to happen to you, you're never gonna see things coming at you.
That you might want that's in there. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
Or just get out of the way.
An opportunity to counter, or
Get out of the way.
it gives you more control in the situation. You have no control in the situation with your eyes closed.
Exactly. So just like keep your eyes open, watch what's coming at you in life. See what's happening. You'll miss most of the bad stuff. And you know, you'll learn something. And so just like the metaphors go on and on and on. It's just awesome. And there's so much to learn.
That's one of the great differences in training like other things, because some people think, oh, why would you want to train that as opposed to say dancing or like
I danced for years, by the way.
Yeah,
So it does
well,
feel like dancing. It feels
does.
like dancing.
And I always associated it with dancing only in that Dancing is a little more choreographed. Sure, you can have a partner that will, you could get like intuitive with it and kind of just go and flow with it.
Yes.
But it's not quite like striking because in
it's
that,
improvisational.
in an MMA match when we're working with a partner, you don't know what the other partner's thinking, or you don't know what they're going to throw
It's
at
dancing
you.
2.0. That's how I think of it. Because
it's
it's like you learn all the combos, you practice them over and
But
over.
then
It becomes artistic. I mean, you watch
Right.
somebody like Rob Font. He makes it look like fucking
Oh,
art.
we were just talking about that the other day,
Yeah, it's
Shelley and
beautiful.
I.
He's just a pleasure to watch. I used to
Yeah.
just watch the guys on the hit pads and stuff when I
He
first
makes it look
started.
so easy, and he doesn't even think about it anymore. It doesn't
No,
look like
he
he's
just makes
just
it
like
look-
they hold the
it's
pads up and they don't have to say
He-
anything.
he-
Blah, 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 blah,
But
blah.
Rob likes to communicate without talking anyway. He was shaking
yeah.
his gloves at me. I was like, I don't know what that means. Like a secret sign.
He never even has like that trying look on his face. He's always so calm and
Well, he's
composed.
got like a happy face, I think.
Yeah, and
He's got like
also
a
just
happy face.
figuring out what is my poker face and how do I get through these difficult situations in life. Like I've had this bad divorce.
Right.
It's an ongoing battle in court.
Yeah, it's a lot of years.
A lot of years. It's a marathon, not a
Yeah.
sprint.
Right.
And how do you cope with those things in life that are unpleasant?
That's why you're doing the you go and punch. I mean, I always look at it as the best form of therapy.
It's therapy. It's a spa vacation.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
it's like when I'm training, I'm really not thinking about anything other than training. It's the only time that I feel so completely free. I feel completely free. Like this is like my space. This is my happy space. This is where I'm 100% me. I really feel like the real Rachel when I'm training and fighting, and it's just a wonderful feeling. And also all those problems melt away. I get a mental break. I meditate too, but I didn't start really meditating, like really committed to it until about 2 years ago.
What got you into meditation? I mean, what started you?
I thought it would make me a better fighter. And
So, did you just figure that out on your own, or did somebody present that to you?
you know, I'm kind of this, like,
I know you always.
I'm one of these
learning
people
stuff.
that's very like, I have a lot of sides to me. So I have a hippie, earthy, crunchy side. Like I had my kids at home in a tub. You know
You
what
did that.
Oh, you got home birth?
You did that? You
I had
got
2
home birth?
home births.
You are crunchy.
Oh man!
Yeah, so I'm
and
kind of-
brave. And you had what did you have? What,
I had a midwife,
midwife.
and I had a wonderful midwife. She was like
Wow, my
really
girlfriend
certified
had to do this
midwife.
with her kids.
Yeah, I had like sort of like an earthy, crunchy, hippie side to me.
Nice.
And anything that would make me a better fighter. So I started doing yoga, which I really believe it. I know you're,
Yes,
you're a yoga
absolutely.
teacher. I love yoga, and I do 10 minutes of yoga every single night. And that's what's kept me injury free the last couple of years because I got
Definitely.
injured a lot.
That kept me.
Yes, kept you in the game, right? It'll keep you in the
game.
game longer, and that's what's kept me. Knock on this fake IKEA wood.
Keeps me. You're able to keep up with the 20-year-olds because of it.
I try to tell them.
That is it to a T.
I try to tell them. I say, guys,
When you guys get to a certain age, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, they're
like,
complaining.
oh,
I'm like,
she knows what she's talking about.
Yoga. Just do
Yeah.
10 minutes of yoga a night. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So this is kind of an offshoot of that. I've meditated off and on over the years. And I started doing it prior to some of my fights in my camp. And then it just kind of stuck around. And it's not like a big deal thing, but it's like I try to meditate like 10 minutes every morning. And it really centers me. I feel like I get a lot more mentally out of my day. It's like, and
Can I not to interrupt, but like for our listeners too, is like when you meditate, like you had to learn how to do something. And most people don't, they think, oh my God, I can't just sit there and clear my mind for the next 10 minutes and not think of anything. And I'm sure that's not what you actively do.
Well,
so can you run through a little bit what you do for our listeners?
I still try all different kinds of meditation. So I don't put limits on it. I just don't even make it a big deal.
That's
I basically have tried, I go on YouTube and Google meditation and pick the first 10-minute video that comes up sometimes. Sometimes I just sit there for 10 minutes and let my mind wander. Sometimes I pick a word to focus on, or sometimes I pick an image to focus on.
Did you do any of it for your fights? Did you do any visual?
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, that's the other thing that kind of brought me around to it because I had, of course, eventually, if you do any kind of sport, you stumble upon visualization for athletes, right? They all do it at the top levels. So those kind of like like a blend of that. So yeah, I have all these like earthy, crunchy like things I've downloaded from Amazon. You know, believe in yourself. You know, you're special. You're one with the universe. But this works. Like instead of dumping crap into your head, I could be thinking, oh my God, she's gonna kick my ass. I'm probably gonna die out there. I'm so old. Thinking something positive and replacing that with something positive can't hurt you.
Right.
Like it can't do any harm, you know? And I just feel like you're retraining your mind, just like you train your body to throw a jab, or if you're a runner, you train yourself to run, or if, you know, you need to learn a new computer program and how to do your taxes, or you have to practice.
Well, I always say there's a difference between worrying about something and thinking about something. So a lot of times I'm like, oh, I can't think about it. It's like, no, you have to think about it. Just don't worry about it. Don't repeat the same thing over and over to yourself.
Yes.
Say, what can I do about this? What are my options?
If you can do something about it, then do that. You don't need to worry. And if you can't do anything about it, worrying is useless.
Exactly.
It's just expending energy you don't need. So
for something that's in the future that you have no control over until it gets there and it might not even happen. That's
I mean, I've had a long battle in court with my ex, and there have been a lot of really stressful situations as a mom, and I just have really found that worry, it happens to me sometimes. It's hard to avoid it. It's okay to sit with it, but I put a cap on it. So whenever I have a bad thing that happens to me, this is a little trick that I have. I tell this to the people at the gym all the time. So if something bad happens to me, I make a decision to allow myself to be upset or to cry or to freak out or whatever, but I set a deadline.
Nice.
I give myself a deadline. I say, okay, and usually I stop before the deadline. You know, like, what did I have? I had one fight. It might have been the one that I took on short notice, and I really got my ass kicked by Maria Rivera, who's phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah,
she was in the Junior Olympics for Taekwondo, and she's got a long career ahead of her.
Yeah, she has the upcoming fight.
She has an upcoming fight with Sarah Click, who is one of my training partners, and Sarah Click is a beast. It's going to be a death match, I'm telling you right now.
Are you going?
I hope so. That's the thing one of the things I've had to give up though, is going to so many fights because, you know, it's hot with the kids and stuff. They have their own lives and everything. But I tell them, like, you know, I said, oh, it really sucked that I lost. So I said, all right, I'm going to allow myself to lay in bed and eat potato chips, which were actually just all natural veggie chips with sea salt. So it wasn't really that bad, everybody. Don't worry. And I watched, like, you know, 24 episodes of, like, the 100 in a row and crying in bed. And I just said, I'm going to allow myself to do this for one whole day. And after that, I have to pull my shit together. I lay in bed.
That's good.
And I sat there and ate. I literally sat in crumbs, which, if you know me, I'm kind of, you know, I like things to be like empty. So I'm like, I'm covered in crumbs. The kids kept coming in. They're like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. And it's like, it'll be over by 6 p.m. It'll be over by 6 p.m. I'm like rocking, you know. And so then, but then like before my deadline, I was like, oh, I'm getting sick of this. Like, I'm tired of sitting in a bed of crumbs. So I always put a cap on myself. And then I say, all right, just let it out, because you gotta let it out, otherwise you subvert it, and then you like, it comes out some other way.
Oh,
so
manifest,
right? It always comes out some way. So I just allow myself permission to be upset, and then I say, all right, now I have to pull it together. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, but like say, okay, now it's time to like focus on getting it together. And meditation helps with that, and visualization, and just visualizing, like, you know, what I've done well in the past, and why am I doing this? You know, why am I even doing this? I want to, you know, show my kids certain qualities like courage or whatever, and I just like, okay, I'm doing this for that, and just replay that in your head instead of all the bad stuff.
What's important too is to ask a lot of people will ask themselves questions, but they don't attempt to answer the questions.
Yes.
So they'll ask themselves these questions, and it's like, well, now try to answer it. That's the difficult part.
Yeah, like, why am I doing this? And the answers are like, some of them are selfish and some of them aren't. You know, some of them are altruistic. Like, I want the female MMA community to see that this is possible, because even though there's some amazing female fighters locally, in our gym, some of the women are just starting to come up, like Jeanette. She's a killer, and she's coming, you know.
Real new blood coming up.
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, keep going. And so some of it's for that reason, for the MMA community, and some of it's to model good behavior for my kids, and some of it's for me. I want to do something that matters, and I feel like this matters. And I want to just do something. I want to know myself. I want to know what happens. when I'm faced with that.
Right.
What am I going to do?
Right.
You know, what am I going to do? I was asking myself that question before I stood in the ring, before I got in the ring last time. Standing there in this like crazy Muay Thai getup that's like such an honor, you know, that they put this whole thing on me. And he was so cute. He was like doing the whole thing, the bow, and oh my God, I was like, I can't believe I'm here. And I'm standing here and I'm like, what am I going to do when I get in there? Am I going to freak out? Am I going to like cry? Am I going to cave?
There was a brief,
am I going to step up to the plate?
There was a brief second, and I could identify with you when you were in there, because it was like that little girl came out. You're in the middle of the ring, and this like little, like when you're a small kid and you're completely vulnerable.
Yes.
And you're
so vulnerable up there.
Yeah, and you're completely vulnerable, and you just feel like I don't even know how to describe it, but I know I felt that when we were in the ring, and I'm like, and everybody's watching, and I'm like, and I'm
so
here, but I'm here, and it's like almost your spirit.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's your spirit coming out, and it's saying, and it's such a soft, sweet, innocent, like a child almost, like it's there, and you're like, I'm here, and I'm doing my dream.
Yeah, that was like so overwhelming.
I'm doing my
This is my dream. I'm living my dream right now.
And I'm living it.
Yeah.
And I caught it in you when you were in the middle of the ring. Am I accurate?
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely like, that was really my focus for this fight. I was like, I don't know how many fights I have left, and this is my dream. Yeah. And I just love this gym, and I love this sport, and I love this community. And I am right now living my dream. Whatever happens in here, I'm living my dream. And it was awesome. And yeah, it is. It's such a pure thing. And just kind of discovering how you react under those circumstances. Like,
and it's
what am I gonna do?
A winding, wonderful road.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
like, and I've had the pleasure to have witnessed it all these years. And it's been really a great experience.
Shelley, you have no idea, like you played a huge part in this for me, because when I first started, there was a lot less support for women, and it was hard to be courageous, and you were like my fairy godmother, because you were like, I've been here, I know it's tough, like you gave me the talk more than once. You said, it's hard, girl, but you keep going, and like you really like, I try to do that for the girls at the gym.
I know you do.
So
I think it's great.
Yeah, you modeled the behavior for me. So
now you're modeling it for me, because now you're like, it's kind of like this big circle, because I feel like, you know, there are times like when I see her in it, I'm like, shit, maybe I should go back. And
you should train back.
I mean, I'm going to train again. I'm actually going to come back to the gym and train again. But actually maybe even compete. I don't know. Like, I'm not promising anything, but like, I've had those little inklings.
It's like
that's not my dream to do that, but it just looks like so much fun.
I feel like it shouldn't be such a rigid thing. Yeah. Like, if you feel it, do it. If you don't, that's okay too. Like, it's okay to move on to have a life in other areas. Like, so many wonderful people at the gym have gone on to do other things.
Exactly.
And I know they're going to be amazing at those other things because they were amazing at the gym. Yeah. And so it's not wrong to leave part of this behind or even come back to it. It's like whatever. Like, this is
never wrong.
Right.
It's never wrong.
No, it's like follow your path, right? So if you feel that inkling again, follow it. Like follow that little inkling.
And if it took you 3 years to do it, then you needed 3 years to do it.
Exactly.
You didn't have to.
Exactly. I don't put so much pressure on myself anymore. I felt like such pressure early on because of my age. I was like, oh my God, I have to hurry up and do this. And now I'm like,
actually do this for the rest of my life on some level.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, I can keep competing. I can still do jiu-jitsu. I can, they can't stop me because I can go sign up for tournaments. Go in the Masters division. No one can stop me because that's how I get like, I was like, well, they're never going to let me do an MMA fight. So I started doing jiu-jitsu tournaments because I figured they can't stop me.
Yeah, well, that was a good thing to do, though, like to prepare for it.
To show them, I'm serious, I can compete, I'm not afraid, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Well, all right, let me rephrase that. I don't know what I'm doing exactly, but I know that I want to be doing this, okay? Yeah. I'm not waiting for knowing what I'm doing, but yeah, it's an exciting time to be in the local community, so.
Yeah. The Indians getting restless.
Yeah, my kids are getting restless.
Well, I've been here for, 2 hours.
Have we?
Hour and a half, 2
hours.
Oh
my God.
Nice.
I can talk, I'm sorry.
No, I love it. Are you kidding? You had so much great information like to share and storytelling.
Hopefully this will inspire some people locally, and also make them see that like it's not just the fighting. You should take some risks in life, calculated risks, but risks, a few risks. Don't, you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror when you're 80. And you're
Life
gonna
is
say,
right.
what did I do? What did I accomplish? How did I make the world a better place? And this is maybe my little way of doing it. I don't know.
Being an inspiration for other women coming up, even men coming
Yeah,
up, that wow,
yeah.
she did this, and I can do this too.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's pretty much what it is. I found winner! Yeah. We'll tune out after that. It'll be good. It's good.
Wow, that was like, I can't believe I talked so much. I'm so sorry.
No, you kidding me? That was awesome.
You got to admit, that was fun, right?
Yeah, that was really fun.
Right?
So you guys made me feel really comfortable.
And like,
so.
exactly
how
what
often
we
you have a conversation sometimes, you're like, where did I, like, it's amazing to be able to go back and listen to what you yourself said.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
helped
my
me
God,
a lot
it's gonna be so weird.
with podcasting. It's helped me so much to go back and listen to what I said and to really reaffirm what you've said to somebody else, because then you can apply it to yourself, because you can't hear it when you're saying it.
Right,
Exactly.
right. Oh my God, it's gonna be so weird.